Old South Church in Boston, by order of the Church Council, hereby proclaims that the room formerly known as the Gordon Library is today and hereafter and forever and ever the Crawford Library.
When I was a kid in high school, our principal read a story to us every year in which he talked about a man sending his wife to the train station to meet an old friend of his. And the wife asked, well, how will I recognize him? And the man thought for a moment and said, look for a tall gentleman helping someone. And those are the words that to me represent Jim Crawford.
When I first met Jim, he is a striking figure, 6 feet, 8 inches tall, handsome, with a marvelous, marvelous voice and wonderful turns of phrase. He is somebody who captures your attention in a really good way immediately.
When I think of James W. Crawford, Senior Minister Emeritus, I think smart guy. I think student. I think 4-syllable words. I think I gotta have a pen if he's doing the sermon today, because he always slips in words that I still don't know what they mean.
And then to get to know him further is to know a man of tremendous, tremendous Christian faith.
I think for many people, the image of Jim is him looming over us and caring about us.
And he served this church with grace and intelligence and humor and compassion over nearly 3 decades. The library is the perfect room to be named for Jim. He is a reader. He reads and reads and reads. I don't know anybody who reads as much as Jim.
Up until I received my first newsletter from Jim, I thought that summer reading meant, beach books. But Jim had these big, heavy tomes, and every year it was some important historical figure. He was on to Hamilton long before the rest of us were.
The shelves were completely filled with books, and they overlapped onto the floor at some points as well.
When you walked into the room, sometimes there wasn't a straight path. One had to meander around the books. There were piles of books. Sometimes the piles moved, depending upon what he was preaching on.
And you knew that Jim was a walking library to some extent.
Old South Church in Boston, in honor of the Reverend Dr. James W. Crawford, and in recognition of his profound faith, devotion to God and God's people, his learned character.
We know who Sam Johnson was. We know who Gordon was. We remember the people like Mary Norton, who we've named the rooms after. And that is part of the enduring legacy that they have left this church, that they are remembered by name in those rooms.
Dated Tuesday, September the 13th, 2016, hereby proclaims that the room formerly known as the Gordon Library is today and hereafter the Crawford Library.
Jim had his hand points. You know you are loved.